Hey everybody, and welcome back to Farm Sim. We are on Crawford Farms, and I thought this was going to be a great map to use to take a look at the new DLC that is coming up because, well, it has tons of forest, tons of trees to cut down, and whatnot. So, here we are. So guys, what kind of questions do you have about the new DLC that's coming up to be released on Tuesday, March 16th at midnight, Giants time? So if you are on the East Coast of the US, that means you'll be able to download it from Giants as early as 6 p.m. Monday night, the 15th. If you get this off of Steam or Epic, well, then you're probably going to be waiting until sometime Tuesday afternoon to get that. If you get it off of PlayStation or Xbox, really not sure when that platform or those platforms update. And of course, if you happen to have purchased the season pass for any platform, well, you're going to be able to get this for free. Even if you think it's not worth it, you're still going to get it. So that's some good news for you there. This thing is $3.99 US, €3.99 euros, and any other currency. It's hard to say what the conversion rate is, but you can use your own conversion rates to figure out what it might be in other currency. So, what kind of questions do you have? Have you seen the first look video that I put out earlier? This thing is really, really nicely detailed. And yes, as GoldenEye mentioned, these are 3D tires because you can see the nobules. See the sky through the nobules as compared to some other tires that may or may not be 3D, just have a 3D-like texture. When you get real up close into there, you can tell that these things truly are standing out. We've got really great details on things like this mesh. The engine, really great details on there. Really great modeling all around on this thing. Anyone that thinks that this is a simple reskin of the Ponzi or Komatsu is, well, they haven't looked at it with their own eyes in any of these pictures or any of these videos. A really great detailing on the black grate here. Something that caught my eye when I first took a look at this is the retaining chains chaining up the cutting head. Of course, on the Ponzi and the Komatsu, the cutting head just dangles. It's just hanging out there all by itself. This one at least has a way for you to secure it in, this is what I'm calling transport position. Let's kind of secure it up there. It's not hanging around, dangling, possibly to get damaged or bang into anything. And this thing has a really long reach. I'm assuming this means 90-meter reach. Hop on in here. Take a look on the inside. Start her up. Try to be quiet so you guys can hear the engine. Really good visibility overall. And what we can do is we hit Z to unfold the harvester. We'll take a look at this animation from several different perspectives. But you see the cab has changed, and that is because now that we've unfolded it, the cab is basically in a leveling situation where it's now trying to level itself. Of course, we've got the boom camera, as we see with most harvesters like this, and then we have our external free-range camera. Now, if we rotate this, you can see that since the cab and the boom are independent, unlike the other forage harvesters where the cab and the boom are on the same, basically, frame, the way it's set up is the cab is always, the operator is always right in the middle there where the head is. They rotate together and independent, which really cool. Henry, they are very expensive in game. I mean, this is really the top of the line model for this particular manufacturer. Let's hit Z. Hold this thing back up. Watch this animation. Again, so we can see this. When we turn it on, we'll open that up. The 3D continues on. We have the kind of the roller here on the cutter head, or three-dimensional. So this is a completely redesigned cutter head. If we use the mouse controls, left click, left and right rotates the cab and the boom up and down, extends and retracts the boom. Left click, left and right, extends and retracts the arm, secondary arm on the boom, and up and down, basically raises and lowers the main boom, if you will. Left and right mouse button, left and right rotates the cutter head, nearly 360 degrees. Of course, it's bound up by the hydraulics. Take a look at the forwarder. Then we'll take a look at the stuff in the shop, and then we'll go start using it. See how bad I am with the crane, right? So the forwarder has a lot of the design skews from the harvester for sure. Got our exhaust, got our nice chrome exhaust cover with the logo on it. Still had the black mesh in front of the radiator or whatever that is back there. Got a see-through. Really great details on the engine. Fill ports, warning labels. And then this particular log carriage is about 5 meters long. So you can really put 6-meter logs on here without too much hassle. Anything much longer than that, and it's really going to hang off too much. We do have a rear hitch, and this rear hitch works. So if we have a pin hitch trailer, so we can hook up a pin hitch trailer to that. In fact, I think I have. Yeah, I got a pair of trailers over there to demonstrate that. And then this is in its unfolded position. So this thing will carry a ton of trees. In my first look video, I think I managed to load up 5 trees on it, and it was maybe half full. So really, I probably could load up 8, 9 trees on this thing without too much of a hassle. Good at loading with a crane. And then this is, what, 5 meters, 4.5 meters, 4.25 meters wide. Much wider than the other forwarders in game. Got a different grapple on this particular model. Take a look on the inside. We do have reverse drive. So there we kind of have our driving position. And then when we want to load, we can rotate this around, and then we are in our loading position. Decent visibility, I guess, from this standpoint. We do have a crane cam also. And if we left click, up and down will raise and lower the boom. Left and right will rotate the whole thing. Right mouse button, left and right. Let's just go up and down. We'll unfold the boom, left and right. We'll extend. Double mouse button, up and down. We'll open and close. And left and right will rotate. Full 360-degree rotation on that. ahead and fold this thing back up. See, we can indeed attach with that rear hitch something that is a kind of a pin hitch. But we cannot connect anything that is a ball hitch. Ball hitches don't do anything. Hey, Terraforming, what is up? The Games 2, thanks for the like earlier. Jamberry, how you doing tonight? Yay. Now, let's take a look at this stuff in the shop. Of course, it's under vehicles. Of course, it's going to be under forestry machines. So, we've got the F20D forwarder, $350,000. Like I said, these things are expensive compared to the other forwarders, but you're going to be hauling a ton more logs out of the woods with this new forwarder as opposed to the other two per trip. So each trip out of the forest is going to earn you a ton more money because you're probably going to be able to haul at least twice as many logs per trip with this new forwarder. We've got the 3D Nokian tires, as Gold and I mentioned, and then we can go to all of our Olaf Surf. I don't know. I call them just chains. This is English is chains. That's the American version of that. We have EcoTrack, the Evo Baltic, EX, Kovacs, Magnum, back to the EcoTrack on that deal. Now, something I wish they did. This company has an option where on the back of this, instead of having the logs, you could have a dump bucket. And I really wish that we had the option of changing this over to a dump bucket. Maybe one day we'll get that ability. I think that would be pretty cool to be able to bring loads of wood chips out of the forest with a dump bucket version of this and then dump it into a trailer for transport. And then we have the big boy. I mean, this thing is a beast. It is huge. 305 horsepower. We got the same tire options, the same chain options on this thing. But he is a beast for sure. Top of the horsepower compared to the Ponzi, which looks like a little baby toy compared to this one. And the Komatsu also looks like a little bit of a toy compared to this particular piece of machinery. Now, go down here because I've got them all lined up. Kind of look at them side by side. Again, kind of compare the forwarders. I mean, forwarder is all about bringing logs out of the forest, right? So, Komatsu is 2.8 meters wide. And if you will, about 4.5 meters long. So 5 meter long would hang off a little bit. 6 meter long would hang off even more. I think the Komatsu actually has the smallest log carrying capability. Scorpion King is 2.8 meters wide and about 5.2 meters long. So again, it is longer. We can haul 6 meter logs on here without it hanging off too terrible wide. But again, it's only 2.8 meters wide. Go back and open this thing up. Is now 4.6 meters long and nearly as wide at 4.27 meters wide. So it is significantly wider than the other two. about as long as the Scorpion King. And the result is we're going to be able to haul a lot more logs out of the forest. So, got pretty good dirt on this. We haven't really used this for too terrible much. We've already got pretty nice dirt on the tires. Not a lot of dirt on the machines itself. Just take a look at this right beside Scorpion King. Now, of course, we had the Scorpion King way back in 17. I don't know if it was in 15 or not, but she's starting to show her age. Really, she's starting to show her age. You get up here close to the cutter head, you can tell if the everything is just flat 2D. Really no 3D going on there at all. The vents are all just dimpled textures. We don't have see-through textures, multiple layers of textures like we do on the new one. Matsu's new, so it does have the grates and the mesh that you can see through, but its detailing on its engine is pretty blah, really, compared to the others. Alright, let's destroy some forest. That's what we're here for. Soulless meat vehicle. Thank you for the super chat. And Z to unfold this thing. Just like other in-game tree harvesters, we have the choice of up to 8-meter cut lengths. But I do think there's a mod out there that'll let you go to longer cutting lengths, up to 12. Or thanks for the super chat. And in the end, Jimmy, thanks for the super chat there, buddy. In the end, we can extend. Let's do all the fun. I wonder, is Streamlabs doing the thing they were doing yesterday? Oops, wrong button. You know, that's Streamlabs messing up or not. We're not seeing them show up in chat, so I think Streamlabs is messing up again. Okay. Six meters. So anybody that does a real super chat, I'm not calling you out, apologize. Just gonna key off of if YouTube chat shows up or not. Streamlabs is having its little fun time. Did this last night, or the other night, but it will end. Pretty sure it will stop soon enough. Well, I will tell you that now I don't use a crane at all in the game. I really don't have a good way of comparing the forwarders, but I will say that I shockingly didn't have that big of a problem picking up multiple trees or multiple logs with the grapple. And with this thing being such a big platform, it is very stable from the standpoint of bringing trees in and out. Terraforming, thanks for the super chat there, buddy. Imagine what we could have done to the forest if we had this. Of course, been awful expensive to bankroll, right? So let's see how many we've got. Three trees. Let's cut 8 trees down and try to load 8 trees and see how that works. Boom up. Make use of the boom, right? Dennis, how you doing tonight? Or today? Surprise live stream in the middle of the day. Controls backwards in my head. Dan, I would say that I think the DLC looks great. Like mechanically, it runs fine. Personally, I don't use a lot of forestry stuff, so I don't have a great comparison. It and other machinery. Tell you that mechanically it runs great. Try to do this in cab and see how bad we do. I've never used a crane in real life, so oops. A lot of this I don't have the muscle memory on. I wanted to do a little in-cab work so you can kind of see how they've got this set up where the boom and the cab all spin at the same time. Scooter, I think you're thinking about the forwarder. It's pointed out in Discord that there is a mod, I think by North Modding Company, of the forwarder that was released last year, I think. You have a boom cam. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more tree and then we'll start trying to load these things up. Feel free to ask questions, things you want to see, things you want to see me attempt to try to do. Bear in mind, I am using a mouse as opposed to a controller or a joystick. As in-game 8 meters, the same across all of the forwarders. And so something I learned. So the left screen here is, the left on the screen is the cut length, 600 millimeters, 6 meters. 265 is the diameter of the log as it's going through the machine. So we're seeing that decrease. Spin this out of the way, and we'll park this. Yeah, the other forwarders, the boom is directly attached to the cab. The two are separate. So if we run back and take a look at the Scorpion King, see the Scorpion King, the boom is basically mounted directly above the cab. When we rotate, the whole kit and caboodle rotates. And the same holds with the Komatsu, except on the Komatsu, boom is mounted to the side of the cab. Still, it is on the same, ultimately it's on the same platform. All three have kind of cab leveling capabilities. Guess we should left control B. Let's rotate this thing around. Get into the proper position. Oh boy, what is up? Did a little practice last night. See how bad we are today. So there we go. Look, we got 4 logs picked up. A little heavy. Rotate that around. In. Up, there we go. And of course we have straps. As with anything with Farm Sim, strap that load down. Don't need the logs starting to freak out on you. That wasn't too bad. It would be interesting if the supports extended up, but they do not. It's great to see you back in the action. Good boy. I think people were saying, did you get your streaming figured out? I haven't been able to catch a stream. Hey, Maycroft Logging, what is up? I bet you're better at this than I am. Well, I have to say, I don't feel as embarrassed right now as I was when I was trying to do this last night. As with lots of things, it's practice, you know. Making some what looks like a good load. Ah, Dan, cheater straps. Cheater straps are great. Not realistic, indeed, but great. Because you wouldn't be getting out and ratcheting down straps on every grapple load. Now, it is nice, and maybe they, you know, maybe the forwarders didn't have this problem. But the big problem I had early on with farm sim and forestry stuff was the log grapples. They had no power. You try to close around a log, and basically as soon as it made contact with the log, the hydraulics would stop, and you couldn't really grip anything. Maybe that was fixed in an update, because these are grabbing, and they are doing a really good job. Oh, I completely messed up. I get the feeling that these are squeezing those logs nice and good. Controller cam. What's a controller cam? So it sounds like your system's stalling out on dealing with the multiple video inputs. Oh, the camera on your controllers. Yes. So yeah, it sounds like it's stalling out on the various processing the various video images, video signals, because of course the system is not only playing the game and dealing with that 3D rendering, it is then basically working taking and encoding, transcoding the camera signal or multiple camera signals. That was kind of what I was trying to suggest earlier, was just kind of deactivate a bunch of stuff and then slowly turn things on and see where and when stuff happens. Then you can probably get through. Hey David, how you doing tonight? Or today? I'm so used to streaming at night. I was hoping I could get all 4. Now, from those of you that do, John, this is nowhere even close to the Komatsu reskin. I've already demonstrated that. I can demonstrate it once again. If you're dead set that this is a reskin, then that's all you're going to believe. This is nowhere as close to a reskin. Let's go get the Komatsu, because I happen to have it right here. Now here are the things. Here are the things. Okay, 1. This is highly specialized machinery for a very specific purpose, for a very specific industry. Over the decades, various companies have come up with design innovations, and as a result of those design innovations, other companies borrow from those design innovations, and over time, machines start looking very similar. That's just what happens. Okay, let's line these up tire for tire. Best we can. You see, one, the Komatsu is a little baby. Not going to be able to haul near as many logs. I would say that's about as tire for tire as we're going to get. So, one, the Komatsu is a little baby. It's shorter. It's narrower by far. It has a shorter wheelbase, so it can't be a simple reskin. The engine's completely different. Yeah, the ladder's in the same spot, but again, that's just where things are. Of course, you could use this with the folded log area. You don't have to unfold the log area if you don't want to. We cut 8 trees. I'm going to try to load all 8 trees. Whoops, what happened there? I'm going to try to load all 8 trees. And see if we can do that. See what kind of money we earn. Some type of locking script going on, because sometimes I get these logs that just want to stick. Get in here in the road. So I want to see. There was a feature of these forders where they have some cab dampening. I wanted to see if that was modeled in any way. I have to go over some bumps. Try to go over a stump. Just the reverse drive has got me backwards. Looks like there's no cab dampening being modeled. It's seat suspension, but not cab suspension. Alright, get back to loading. Sorry if I'm not following as well as I normally do in chat, but I am trying to load, not destroy the load. Drop my log. Some days you just can't get away from farm sim physics. Hey. Hey. Oh, finally. Ooh, we do get 4 this time. We dropped. I like the animations up here. Now, it was pointed out in a comment by someone that actually uses, I think, this particular forwarder, that these hydraulic hoses may be on the wrong side of the boom. But I like the animations of the hydraulic hoses folding and unfolding here as you extend the boom out. So the comment was that where the hoses are, they're exposed in transport mode to potential damage. So let's grab this log. Bring it in a little bit. How's the weekend going, Raz? We do have, obviously, if we're super talented, we could do this off the main cab. Or if we were really talented, maybe we could use the boom camera. But we're none of these. We have 0 talent with cranes, so we're just going to do it the old-fashioned way. The higher up the load we get, the harder it's going to be to do a nice load, I think. Kind of bring the logs in. I will have to just kind of dog walk them instead of this. Mark, autoloaders are cheaters. Yes, autoloaders. Do help out for sure. But if we did auto loading, we wouldn't be able to demonstrate the benefits of the DLC, would we? Raise this, or raise it somewhere. So now we're at full raise. We're gonna have to open the grapple. extend it out. Grapple our load. Bring it in. Is it Kalokino TV? Thanks for the super chat. It does demonstrate the suspension a little bit, going over that log. We have a rule on our Team Green, our Team Red server. If you cut it, you load it. So I got to load all these logs up. Can't leave them on the ground. What do I think of the machines? Machines are fine. I mean, they are what they are. I think visually they look great. They seem to operate well. If you are a good operator of cranes, I think there's some things that are probably going to be fixed at some point, like how the straps don't quite come out to the full width of the loading area. But like I said, I've not used cranes. I've not used forwarders in the game typically. So I don't have a good frame of reference on how the Komatsu works and handles, or on how the Buffalo handles logs in general. Be able to comment on if this grapple works better than the others. And my problem is I mentally forget which way I have to move the mouse in order to do certain things. Oh, watch that. Am I loosening the grapple, or am I tightening the grapple? Now it's just trying to grab two little logs to bring them closer to the front. Well, Dead Boy, the reality is, if I bought two joysticks, they would get used like once a month. And I would, as a result, completely forget from one use to the next which did what. I have that exact problem with the side panel that I have. I've set up all the key mappings. I've set up all the key mappings, but since I don't use every key every day, I honestly have forgotten what 90% of the keys do. I think we're going to push our luck trying to get any more loaded on there. That's what we do. We push our luck on there, don't we? Alright, that's pretty good. Let's go sell this and see what Control B. Let's drive out of here. Oh, I don't doubt it's a lot easier in real life. That's the way lots of things are with Farm Sim, right? And using here, this will give us a good idea of some suspension going on. Yeah, moving bales around with forks in real life is a lot easier. Forklifts a lot easier. Just in game in general, depth perspective is hard. But try to get 7 trees on any of the other two, right? Of course, in real life, you'd bring the forwarder would bring the logs out of the forest to a loading area, and then they'd unload. Then another crane would load it up onto a semi or something. We're just going to take it straight here. Corey, this is a lot bigger. This forwarder is substantially bigger than the others. $7,000. Really 30 grand. So if we pull this up, so most of the other forwarders in game are this wide, whereas this one is a lot wider. But this company is the 4th largest manufacturer of forestry machinery. So it'd be like, you know, really, it's like saying, well, what's the big deal about a John Deere versus a Fendt? Why are people so excited about John Deere tractors over Fendt tractors? They're all tractors. So there are folks that are very much into forestry and want to see, want to play, and want to use vehicles and machinery that they see out in the real forest. So we were talking about this earlier. So I've got all the harvesters, I've got all the forters here. So the Scorpion King is about the same length of log bed, maybe a little bit longer, but substantially narrower. Way. Komatsu is shorter and narrower in every respect. So kind of line up wheel for wheel. The wheelbase is shorter. The log rack is shorter and much narrower. But to each their own. Each person and player gets to make their own decision. Obviously, if they feel it's worth it or not. Just like with the Potato DLC, Lost, any DLC out there. I mean, heck, there's people out there that feel the Anderson DLC is a waste of money, but pretty much every gameplay I have used since its release, I have used something out of the Anderson DLC. For me, one has been very valuable. Will I use this every game save? No. Have I done forestry on every game save? No. Forestry is just not something I do. I would rather the trees just exist in the map for decoration than for cutting down. That's just me. But there's other people that, honestly, they play Farm Sim for forestry. There was a comment on, I think, my first look video today, where someone said that it's sad, but Farm Sim is the best forestry simulator that is out there, in their opinion. So for people that are wanting a forestry simulator, it sounds like their only choice at the moment is Farm Sim. So for them, now having the fourth largest manufacturer in forestry equipment in game is a big deal. Same way some people, for whatever reason, think now that we have John Deere, it's a big deal. I was trying to get these lined up at 3 logs. The others later. Not sleeping because I'm just so riveting and so exciting. Stream is the epitome of excitement. I just can't get to bed. I was just waiting for the logs to explode on me. Hey, Martin, there you go. Martin's the guy that gave me a lot of information about forestry in the comments earlier. Glad to have you in the stream. They mentioned that you had talked about these hoses being on the wrong side of the boom. Are they like that in real life, or are they just modeled wrong in game? There I go. Now a disaster is happening. This is what happens. When I start doing this too much, I start getting my controls backwards, mixed up. There we go. This thing out of the way and cut some more. Cut some more trees. I think they did a really good job with the modeling. What do you think as an operator of the real life machine? Feel that it's modeled well? Clear out some of these smaller trees. Out and cut some more. Let's try this. Let's rotate the head. Pause. Wait on this. All right. Rotate the head and come at it from the side. Swing and a miss. Sure. We'll get it from a different angle here in a bit. I do wish we had kind of modeled chains on the cutter bar there. We just have blue. Oh. Go. What we do, we try to distract from reality. How not lined up in my illness. There we go. Keep wanting to use the left mouse button when I should be using the right. Got one more and then we'll start loading her up again. I do find this machine to be much more stable, in my opinion, than the Scorpion King. The Scorpion King is much smaller and probably much lighter of a machine than this is. Let's just do that. There we go. Come back up here and start loading again. Yeah, I mean that's kind of like the potato DLC. The potato DLC, if you like potatoes, is definitely a thing. If you're not into potato farming, then the potato DLC is like, yeah, right. Same can be said for lots of stuff, you know. I mean, we know. I got folks in the Discord that have never done animals in Farm Sim. They've only done arable farming. I've heard comments from folks in some of my videos where they're like, oh, I've only ever done Farm Sim for silage. So it's a very open world, open platform. You can do just about anything you want in Farm Sim that is or isn't farming related. Now, I would have loved to have seen more machines from the same manufacturer as opposed to just these two. But I know that what's included in a DLC is often not only a decision from Giants. What's included in the DLC is also what the company might be, the manufacturer of the machinery is interested in having represented in the game. And it may be that they were only really interested in their top-of-the-line models to be used or compared side by side with possibly the top-of-the-line models of Ponzi and Komatsu. I don't know. I don't know where the Scorpion King falls on the Ponzi product lineup. I don't know where the Komatsu's 931XC falls on the product line. I would like to have seen smaller products that can more align with something like this. I don't know how much this ever gets used in game because it doesn't cut the biggest trees. But I would like to have seen a more fleshed out product line that covered like we have. We have small Fendt tractors and Valtra tractors and New Holland tractors. We've got larger, medium-sized New Holland, Fendt, and Valtra tractors. We've got large Fendt, New Holland, and Valtra tractors. You really see more of the breadth of the product line. So that, if you wanted to do mechanized forestry, you didn't have to spend $500,000 to do it. Oh, watch it. But just because they get a license to do some of the company's product doesn't mean that they get the license to do any and all of the company's product. Hey, Binks, what's up? I mean, lots of people would like to see an older equipment or older equipment in game. But I completely understand why a company would, not that they wouldn't want older equipment in game, but given a choice, they're going to want the current products out there. They're going to want their premium products out there. 4 logs to directly compete against the other manufacturer stuff that's in game. That's what I tried to do. It didn't always work out so well. That's what I've tried to do, is try to get the logs in that middle first. And then try to load the sides. And in the end, crane skills fail me. Thinks this is a paid DLC. I mean, on the website should show $3.99 right there. If you already have the season pass, it is included in the season pass. If you're a season pass holder, then it is already included. If you're not, then it's $3.99 US, €3.99 euros, I think. And then if you've got currency other than that, then it's going to basically be whatever €3.99 euros is converted to your currency. We made close to 30 grand off that first load. There we go. Yep, so if you have a season pass, it is free. So just look for it on your platform of choice on Tuesday. I'm sure Giants will be posting on Monday when each platform is expected to release. If you download it from Giants, either pre-order or you order, you buy it once it's released, it will be available to download from Giants at midnight CET on the 16th, which for those of us on the those of us on the East Coast of the U.S., that is actually 6 p.m. Monday night. We'll kind of be doing a release stream Monday night at 8 p.m. So at that point in time, anyone that buys it from Giants' website will be able to download it. You get it off of Steam, it'll probably come out sometime Tuesday for you. Same with Epic. Open. Hey Richard, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Up. There we go. One little log. Extend it. Spin it like a top. Wrong way. Oh, just... Oh. Danny, that would not be possible at the moment since we're working with a pre-release DLC. She would never move this with the crane probably out like that. Since when have we been focused on realism? Oh, let's take all the lights. Not really showing the lights off. We got first stage lights there. Second stage lights. Third stage lights really light up the whole area, including the back. Gotta show off some of the suspension. I don't think we have that cab dampening in the forwarder. Got seat suspension. Doesn't feel like the entire cab is moving independent of the chassis. Hey Richard, what's up? David, on slot count, it is because of just the modeling detail in general. All of the John Deere models are obviously Farm Sim 19 original. A lot of the other tractors in game are really just carryovers from previous versions of the game, and as a result they have less detail modeled on them. So I would say the John Deere tractors probably would have the same general slot count as other brand new modeled for Farm Sim 19 vehicles and implements. It's just that so much has been carried over from 19 to 19 from 17 that 17 stuff is just modeled with less detail. Let's see what we get for this load. 20 grand. So when we get back to the forest, I'll show you what I mean. You know, I have no idea what slot counts these will be. The way they're detailed, I would expect that they would be up there, much higher than the slot count for like the Scorpion King. Or look in game right now if you can. What's the slot count on the Scorpion King versus the Komatsu tree harvester? I bet you the Komatsu's higher, because the Scorpion King came to us from 17, whereas the Komatsu is a 19 model. Tim, it depends on your value. Your value, what you feel is value. It doesn't bring anything new as far as methods of gameplay compared to, let's say, these two harvesters. I mean, they cut trees, they delimb trees, they cut them to a specific length. It doesn't bring the game. John Deere doesn't bring anything more to the gameplay, being in the game than not in the game, for example. But there's a ton of people that would tell you that Farm Sim isn't worth owning because John Deere wasn't in the game until it is. These are far, far different than reskins. They're completely different models. So, like the Komatsu, we see the engine details here. We have mesh, we have slats, and then mesh, and we can see through all of that. Detailing. The hoses, we don't really have individual hoses on the Komatsu. A lot of it is wrapped up in this sleeving. So if we look at the Komatsu, we've got true 3D on our cutter wheels. Now if we go here to the Ponzi, we've got fake 3D. These are just textures to make it look 3D, but these are just flat on the cutter head. We go back here to chassis. We don't have any mesh grading. These are just dimples in a flat texture. Same with the back here, just dimples in the flat texture. So the Scorpion King is 11 slots. The Komatsu is 23, over double. Now if we go look at the forager here, or the cutter, tree cutter, for tree harvester, okay, we got a completely different model. So on the others, the cutter arm and the cab are all in the same. They're all mounted together. This is completely separate. Got much more details. We've got, for the most part, individual hoses or multiple hose sleeves. Once again, we have three-dimensional cutter heads here. Our wheels on the cutter bar because we can see the sky between these grooves. Got mesh. We've got great engine detail here. Got mesh here. These are far more than simple reskins. We look in-game. Arm and the cab rotate such that the cutter head is always in the center of the operator's perspective. But at the heart of it, it cuts trees just like everything else. It cuts trees. But you know, it's the same. It's the same thing. Is there any value? Does the 6R or any of the other John Deere tractors bring any more value to the game than having JCB in the game or having Case or Fendt in the game? No. Doesn't bring any more value. Game isn't different. But there are people that much prefer to use John Deere equipment over anything else. And that being their favorite brand, then it is very important to them if it's in-game or not. So I'm going to try to pronounce this properly. Rottne is a Swedish manufacturer of cut-to-length forestry machinery, and it is reported to be the fourth largest manufacturer of cut-to-length machine equipment, forestry equipment, in the world, I guess. So they are very much the equivalent of, let's say, a John Deere, New Holland, Fendt, with respect to forestry equipment. The people that are into forestry and play the game for its forestry capabilities. The addition of this brand can be pretty significant. Tim, I don't know. I have no real idea if there are going to be any more paid DLCs from Giants for 19. mean, I gotta think if an opportunity would present itself, would they deny introducing another one? You gotta think that if a brand or a manufacturer came to them and pitched them an offer, it might be like, well, let's make a deal. Let's include it in the next farm sim. Got to think that if the opportunity presents itself, they might be inclined to take it. Bring that tree a little closer to the machine. See where we have the cab leveling going on here? That operator level. One, two. Got a couple more. And then see what questions you all have, anything you want to see. Anything you want to see compared. Again, in cab we have on the left, just like our other harvesters, we've got the cut length. We can cut 1 meter, 2 meters, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, up to 8 meters logs. We're cutting 6 because that works well with the forwarder. And then the number on the right is the log diameter. Have a boom cam if you want to so inclined to be able to use that effectively. JS 12640. I agree, right? So when you're all said and done and you're ready to take this thing home for the night, you fold it up, you hit Z, and let's do that again. So watch the cab. Right now we're in auto leveling mode, so when we fold it up, the cab kind of goes back into a stationary mode. The boom arm, the cutter head comes up to a kind of retaining chains to hold the head, and the boom is kind of in transport mode. And that is pretty unique. That is completely different from other harvesters, which really don't have any sort of transport mode. The other harvesters just have the boom that's just kind of, and the cutter area is just swinging side by side. But again, these cutter and the cab, boom and the cab are fixed to the same platform on both the Scorpion King and the Komatsu, with the arm being to the side of the Komatsu cab and basically being directly overhead of the Scorpion King cab. But for the H21D, they are independent and in cab. If we unfold this, once again, when we rotate boom, cutter is always set up so the cutter is always in the middle, which I think is a pretty cool touch. Yep. Take a look at them in the shop. They are expensive. They are the most expensive of all of the forestry machines, but they're the biggest in both horsepower and ability to haul logs. So the Forder, 350,000, 278 horsepower, but again, got the ability to widen out that log loading area to much wider than on the Buffalo, much narrower loading area there, or the 875 is about as narrow as the Buffalo is. And then the Rottne H21D is a lot longer of a harvester. Loader rack. There it is. Left it running. And we have crazy details, like we have really great details on the modeling of the engine in here. The black mesh on the front and on the rear of the harvester. And the muffler guard that is all modeled. The holes, we can see through it. See how much wider that log area is compared to this one. So I'm going to just continue to load up logs. I want to thank you guys for coming out and joining me with this midday live stream. I'll be back tonight, our normal time, 8 p.m., doing some more logging. I'm going to try to get some fellow ambassadors. Try to get some fellow ambassadors out here to log with me tonight. Let's see if anyone takes me up on the offer or not. But if not, then it'll just be me. But maybe we'll get some fellow ambassadors out here to do some great logging at the same time. Tim, I don't have dual joysticks. I'm just using a trackball to do the crane and the cutting functions. And I don't do crane work in game ever. I would say this is the most loading of a forwarder I have ever done in game. So if you want to see some more of this, come back tonight around 8 p.m. About 6 hours from now, we'll be live again. Doing some more logs, answering more questions, showing the machines off to anybody that is debating if it's going to be worth it or not for them. So until next time, happy farming.